Barbara.
According to infopolice.com, there are 195 independent countries or states recognized around the world, but some people either only think about the country they live in or don't care to know what's going on in other countries like Syria, Haiti, etc.
So we've made this video to talk about having a global perspective.
The reason I joined JAGS was to gain this so-called global perspective. Before JAGS, I rarely watched the news, and when I did, I mostly listened to stories that regarded Ohio and the U.S. But once Miss Stone forced us to do current events, I was forced to look at the rest of the world, and since then I can't stop.
I decided to join JAGS because I wanted to broaden my education and experience concerning areas outside of the U.S. And I also joined JAGS to challenge myself to see where my potential could possibly take me.
We think it is important to have a global perspective, but what do some of the staff here at JHS have to think about having a global perspective? As a historian, how important do you think it is to have a global perspective?
Well, I think for today it's really important. Obviously the world's a lot smaller today than it's ever been before. Looking back, and since we're going to have more interactions with different types of people, it's good to know what's happened to them in their past. It's important to study history for that reason anyways, but the more we interact with the Chinese, I think the more we should understand about their culture, and the only way we're going to gain that understanding is through study of their history.
Do you feel our country throughout history has had a tolerance for other cultures?
No, not at all. History shows that just numerous acts restricting immigration and instances of nativism towards earlier immigrants, and you still see it to a certain extent today. People who want to deport any illegal aliens, people who aren't willing to offer amnesty to Mexican families or Hispanic families who are trying to have a better life here. So no, we've been, oddly enough, as for a nation of immigrants, we've been pretty closed-minded, I think, as a country. Obviously, we're getting a lot better now at that, but I think there's still some issues that we have with foreigners, as we would call them, here in this country.
Living in this new age of technology, how do you feel technology has shaped our view of the world?
Well, when I was in high school, I had a pen pal, or actually in grade school, a pen pal in Korea, from South Korea, and it took a month for us to exchange letters. I'd get a letter from him about once a month, and he'd get a letter from me once a month. And now, if I wanted to, I could pick up my phone and maybe even look at someone in Korea within minutes. You could be emailing them, speaking with them, possibly even FaceTiming them or seeing them on Skype. So it's, like I said before, it's made the world a much smaller place, and it's getting smaller and smaller all the time.
How helpful do you think the media, TV, newspaper, radio, etc., is in shaping our global perspective?
Well, I think media is important in shaping all of our perspectives. I really don't see a lot coming out of the media in terms of trying to establish a global perspective. I would like to see more of an effort by the media doing that, but the media is basically concerned with ratings and selling products and things like that. I'd like maybe our government needs to take a stand on more global awareness and global issues here in the United States. But again, it seems like we have we're more interested in what's going on here with ourselves than what's going on in the bigger world at large.
The world is in a pretty bad shape right now. Global warming, Crimea, all sorts of stuff like that. What do you think us as students can do, since we are the future of this country and we are the representatives of the world?
Well, that's a really good question. I think the first thing you have to do is you have to pay attention. That's where the global awareness comes in, and through through new technology, the internet especially, you have all kinds of opportunities to become aware of all the issues that are going on. And if you see something that's interesting, try to raise awareness right now. I think there's going to be lots of opportunities for global studies and possible careers across the globe. And if you find something that you're interested in, or an area that you're interested in, that's possibly something that you could focus on later on in life. Right now, as a student, I think the main thing is just try to stay aware and maybe try to help others become more aware as well.
Thank you.
New age of technology. How do you feel technology has shaped our view of the world?
Well, I think technology's broadened our view of the world. giving us more access to more experiences that we otherwise would not have had. A good example of that is some of the work that our freshman students are doing with the Itasha project and sharing video back and forth. Also helps us track news around the world more quickly. And as long as you open yourself up to many different types of news sources, resources, and things like that, I think it can continue to keep your mind open. Obviously, there's a lot of misinformation using technology, so it's important to recognize that, but at the same time, like I said, it's given many people many opportunities that they may have never otherwise had, whether it be here in Ohio or over in India or in some small city in Argentina or something like that. So it's great.
How helpful do you think the media, like TV, newspaper, radio, is in shaping our global perspective?
Well, I guess it depends on the news source. Again, that idea that that they need to offer a wide variety of viewpoints and a wide variety of issues related to global concerns or global problems and things like that. Being careful not to, insert bias. I think that most media outlets do a very good job of that. But again, it's a matter of watching for different news sources and different events and how they're covered and how they're portrayed. And looking at it from how does our media portray it versus how maybe that country's media would portray the same story, and keeping that kind of open mind and that open perspective. I think they do a very good job of that in the media, of trying to keep that up, save for maybe a few, news sources or media sources that maybe have an agenda that they're trying to push. So, but I think it doesn't really, again, it creates those experiences of just even visually seeing what's going on within the rest of the world and knowing and sharing. So it's really good in that way. And the technology and the media, I think, kind of work hand in hand in that way.
Now that you know some of what the staff feels about having a global perspective is, but what about the sophomores and the juniors? How they feel about a global perspective, and how good of a job Jackson High School is at helping students gain a global perspective?
We found that 10th graders in general believed at about an 8 out of 10 that a global perspective was important, while 11th graders believe about a 5 out of 10 that a global perspective is important, but they both say they get most of their news from TV or off the internet.
We also found that 10th and 11th graders mainly believe that the school is at about a 4 to a 5 on the scale of 1 to 10 for how good of a job JHS does.